Hey everyone, this is Veritas and
CA7A
from Filler Killers, and we're finally doing another dual commentary, giving you guys our outlook on what just happened at E3 today. We're going to start with this video being about Microsoft's conference only. We're going to try to keep it on one video per presentation, I'd say. We might combine Ubisoft and EA into one because they were both kind of small, but it's to be determined what we're exactly going to do. So basically for Microsoft right now, Cattack, your feels on what Microsoft's overall presentation was.
It was pretty good. I mean, they had good points, they had bad points. Don't get me wrong, they still didn't address a lot of their issues that people are still concerned about. The discs, used games.
Basically, like the hardware integration with like what people are going to be able to do between each other, like the sharing kind of stuff.
Well, not even that. Like mainly the always online.
Yeah.
You can't play used games. You can't share games.
Well, you
like
can,
that.
but it's like there's rumors that it's like you can own a game and then you can give it to your friend, but it'll erase all of your ownership of it, all of your rights, all of your statistics with it on your account, and you give it to them only, and it's like a one-time deal where you can just basically give it to them and then they can't trade it off from there.
I mean, it's kind of crappy that they didn't touch down on any of that stuff, but overall they covered a good number of their bases.
They stuck to their word with basically having a gaming presentation.
Yeah, I mean oh my god. Their price, I feel like $500 is a pretty good set price for a new console.
$600 would have been too much for what people are, for the overall reception of what Xbox One is. I would have feel that $600 would push more people away from it than bring people towards it. But $400 seems like too little for the amazing power that the Xbox One gives us. So their price of $500 is a good...
Yeah, and I can definitely see them listening to what everyone's opinions are after E3 about what they want to fix, like the whole backwards compatibility thing. Like they want to touch down on that. They can
Definitely
go back and work on that. But I mean, right now the console is by far the best one you can choose.
Definitely. I'm excited for the Steam box, but we're not even going to talk about that right now. So games that were teased and announced, kind of, most of the stuff is literally unconfirmed because they didn't really say anything was coming out. Besides Call of Duty Ghosts being the obvious title because it's a annual thing, other games just got kind of like areas, like fourth quarter, so the last 3 months of this year, which I'm terrible with calendars, so I couldn't tell you. Like November, September, that kind of stuff, like back in then. Kind of like when COD will come out. They teased a new Halo game, which I was screaming in the chair about because it just looked beautiful. But
Battlefront 3.
Yeah, Battlefront 3. But that was was that in the...
That was EA.
That was EA. So shush.
A lot of these games are from EA, though.
Yeah, I know that. Anyway, so they teased Halo, and I'm probably one of the biggest Halo nerds out there besides the people that made the game. It was amazing, but I have issues with it. But, I'm not going to say anything until they actually show us, like, an actual trailer about it or something. That was just a teaser to kind of give you a taste. My opinion, quickly, Master Chief went rogue after Halo 4, because he's kind of pissed at the UNSC, kind of like Halsey is. Cortana's dead. Spoiler. You should know that by now. It's kind of late if you don't. He has her chip.
I thought we were sticking to Microsoft.
This is Microsoft. This is Microsoft's thing.
We're getting way off track.
So I'm doing a little spiel. So yeah, I think he's going to go and try to revive her, find the librarian and all that stuff. So if you know the Halo lore, you might know where I'm going with it. But I'm going to leave it there. For those of you that don't, really excited for what 343 Industries is going to show with Halo in the coming months and next year. Back on track, I guess. Dead Rising 3.
Dead Rising 3 looks amazing.
It looks pretty fun. I've never played the Dead Rising games, so I wouldn't know. But, I was just amazed at the sheer fact that there is no loading times, no load screens or anything like that. It's just all seamless. And that
the way they were able to keep those graphics with that great of a frame rate was just amazing.
With no dropping. It literally was seamless. There was no problem with it at all.
I mean, The Witcher 3 and every other game they showed there, they all looked really good.
The gameplay was beautiful. Like, it never buckled at all during the presentation, which was fantastic. For those curious, Dead Rising 3 is slated to be released sometime in the fourth quarter of 2013, around this same area as Call of Duty Ghosts. Anything else that there's a lot of games we didn't touch on, but that's like Forza and stuff, which are...
I mean, we can touch on games overall for what will be on the new Xbox.
Yeah, that would
be on the PlayStation.
I'm gonna say Mirror's Edge, because
that was at the end of EA.
Yeah, that was EA, but it's gonna be on Xbox.
We'll get into the games after this one. This one's mainly just about Microsoft's coverage.
So Microsoft, they have a sharing gold policy now, where they teased something about this during the hardware reveal back in, I don't even remember, but
like weeks ago.
Yeah, weeks ago. But when they talked about it, it wasn't really clear. Basically, your main Xbox is like your parent Xbox, not your parents' Xbox, but like the main one of the household. And if you have a gold account on there, it will share that gold access to online and things like that only gold members would have access to, like parties and things like that. We'll share that to quote-unquote child Xboxes that are around the house. So you only have to have like one gold account per household basically now. But it's sharing it, kind of like Hulu Plus would do, where you can just share it.
That makes me kind of question if they're going to raise the price for gold, though.
Right.
With their services they have, with the new console, just everything they're introducing, it kind of makes me worry that they're going to stake up the price again.
Which, from what they're offering, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with if it's not astronomical.
I mean, it's $60 for a year. That's a
pretty good
price.
When you have basically a system that never gets shut down, and if it does, it's for the better.
Yeah.
And it's never taken over by a third-party company in a negative way. We've seen that happen in the past with other companies. Something that caught Cat and I's eye immediately in the Microsoft conference, right after they're saying, hey, we're talking about games, is that from now until the launch of Xbox One in November this year...
yeah, they're going to release 2 free games.
They're going to have...
for gold members?
For gold members, there's going to be a select list of games that grows as the weeks go on, and you'll be able to download free full release size, full retail games, 2 of them free each month until the Xbox One is launched in November of 2013. So I know the first 2 are Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3. I'm definitely going to get Halo 3. I own 3 copies of it already, but now I'm going to own more because I just love that game so much.
I sold mine, so I'll probably re-download it since it's free.
Yeah, maybe play through campaign again.
Well, I still need some achievements for the
I will help you there.
Scoring.
I will help you there. Meta is a bitch. Okay, you remember anything? Was Watch Dogs on the Microsoft thing?
Oh my god, they showed...
that was Ubisoft.
Yeah,
Ubisoft showed that, so we'll talk about Watch Dogs when we get to the Ubisoft.
You know, we'll just talk about the games in our next episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about the games mostly, and then the other video, I'll try to link these in the description or something. Pretty much all these were shown. That was this morning, hours and hours ago, so Katak and I are having trouble remembering it. So basically, Xbox came to E3 and was just like, yo dog, heard you like games. Here, have games and free games and more games.
Well, that's the thing, a lot of people were upset with the first conference they had because they wanted to get all their entertainment stuff out of the way so they could
The hardware and entertainment.
Yeah, they just wanted to focus on games when it came down to E3.
And I think the negative effect people didn't understand from that, like being it was an entertainment based, it was a hardware based, to get that out of the way so they have more time for games. I think the negative impact on the community for that actually helped Microsoft in E3 because people were just like expecting nothing from Microsoft. They were just so hateful towards them. They came out and were just like, hey, look what we can do, and everyone was just astounded at what it looked like and what it could run.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say it's going to be the perfect console. It'll definitely have its flaws. During launch, it'll definitely have its problems. It'll take a little bit to resolve, but overall, it was by far the best thing shown. And
talking about the hardware, back to that, the controller, when they showed off the controller, they haven't really like given us an idea of like close up what it looks like actually in a conference. I've seen insider images and insider video from that stuff, and like seeing like what the bumpers and the triggers will look like, and like the button layout and how the D-pad has been quote unquote improved. I don't think it's been improved personally.
Yes.
I understand that. I've seen how people can see that, but to me, I like it when it's raised out of the controller.
It's more for fighting games.
Yeah, I see why they would do it, but for me personally, I don't like the D-pad being embedded in the controller now. It is basically it's just like a dip, but I mean the joysticks are improved with like the grip and the ridging.
The buttons, the triggers.
The buttons have now 3 layers of gloss.
What are they doing for the battery pack though? They took the battery pack out.
It's embedded. It's charged now with a mini USB. that plugs.
So it's kind of like a PlayStation 3 controller. You plug it into the system.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess I'd be fine with that.
Or it's gonna have maybe like, because I know that the
triple A's.
Yeah, because I know that they said that the backing is set to be on there, like it can't be removed. But in some of the leaked insider images,
they have the arrow.
There's an arrow on the back, like it can be slid off. And I mean, the back of the controller looks like a piece of crap. I mean, it looks like a cheap piece of plastic, but you turn it around and it's like, holy shit, this thing looks cool as hell.
It definitely looks nice. I mean, I'm not going to get too much on the PlayStation on this, but I liked it a lot more than PlayStation's.
I hear lots of complaints about the old PlayStation controllers being too small for people's hands and stuff.
Well, yeah, that was the issue. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like DualShock. I liked how they had their joysticks, but now that I'm looking at it,
I never understood why it was called DualShock.
It's because they're right next to each other,
I guess. I always liked having the joysticks staggered. The other thing I forgot to mention about the joysticks is that they are now they're 25% more loose. Basically, they're less tension, so you can move around easier. I personally liked the feel of the joysticks being stiff on the 360 controller as opposed to the old PlayStation controller.
Yeah, I remember there's going to be a lot more movement now, though.
Yeah, because everything is like, I mean, just look at the games that are announced now. Like, you need to be able to move around, and I guess that'll work itself out. We can speculate all we want on what it's going to feel like and be like, but
we won't know until we have it in hand.
The only controller I know that would feel like the new Xbox One is the limited edition Halo 4 console controllers that actually have basically the same joystick layout. They're ridged and they have a little bit of a staggered grip on them. And I love my limited edition controllers. They're fantastic. But the triggers and the bumpers being much bigger now, it looks like it'll fit your hand way better when it comes to games, and it won't be like intrusive and blocky like the ones are now.
Yeah, it's not really going to be more of a restriction to big-handed.
Because it looks like the triggers now look like plastic triggers. They look like actual triggers, just kind of set on a controller, and the new ones look more just like big triangles that you can just put your hand on.
Yeah.
It looks like it'll fit your fingers a lot better. I know you hold your controller a lot differently than I do, but I don't think it'll impact our gameplay unless it's positive, really.
Yeah, I don't see many games having the right bumper being reload, though.
Yeah. But you don't see many games using the D-pad unless they're fighting games.
True.
Unless you're playing Gears of War.
Do you want to touch on the SmartGlass?
I don't even understand SmartGlass. I'm too stupid to understand SmartGlass. I know you can get it for an app on Android and iOS.
Yeah, basically any smartphone / tablet /
I just get confused when something is called SmartGlass because I immediately think of it's like a Surface thing, like it's a tablet kind of thing because it says SmartGlass. I'm immediately
basically that's what it was. It was for tablet, but you can use it on other systems.
And you can use it. Oh, the thing we saw in Dead Rising 3 that we were just astounded by is the guy on stage just pulled out his cell phone and was like, I'm going to call in an artillery strike, and just dialed it in from his phone to the game.
They're going to integrate SmartGlass into your actual gameplay now. Like, you can...
And the tablet stuff, like tracking your online stuff. With Witcher, it messes with your inventory.
Yeah, you can say, oh, well, I don't want this, so it's just like a drag and drop instead of having to click all the way through it.
Which would be, it seems like it's being more cumbersome, like you have to have more stuff around you, but I already have my Kindle next to me all the time anyway. It wouldn't make a difference if I just turned around and was like, just dragging it off the screen while looking at the enemies I'm fighting. I never played Witcher, but I'm hoping there are enemies to fight in it.
Just which sex? No, there's plenty of fighting.
Okay, hopefully
It's an RPG.
Okay, I wouldn't know, but it looks good. Other than that, just the sheer fact of how beautiful the games are on the Xbox One is astounding.
Now, note, if you do watch our other videos, you're not going to like what we have to say about PlayStation. If you watch, you'll understand why.
If you saw the Sony press conference for E3 today that just ended for us about 15 minutes ago, it was bad. So when we put up our Sony and / PlayStation video later, if you're a huge Sony fan and you're dedicated to them, you'll probably come there to send some hate mail to us, but other than that, you're going to just hate us for what we're going to say about it. But there's really nothing good you can say when your conference was a total failure. Anyway, back to Microsoft.
So we're going to be bringing Minecraft to the new Xbox.
Oh yeah, I think that they said, not really said, but they kind of hinted to it that they're going to improve like the world size. But the stream kind of zoomed out on the last screen there where it said it's going to reintegrate on the Xbox One. But I can't imagine them keeping these tiny, tiny worlds when the processing power of like infiniteness. Yeah. They're gonna. I don't think they're going to be technically quote unquote infinite like the PC version is, because that's just kind of ridiculous. But I really, really hope that it'll be much bigger than the other ones. So, do you have any final words about games or Microsoft or Xbox One?
We'll have plenty to say in other videos. I mean, we covered the basics, like what we thought was good, what we thought was bad. I mean, I'm just kind of concerned on the whole disc thing. I'm gonna say I don't mind if I can only have my disc and I can't give it to anyone, because that's what PC is.
We don't really do that anyway, though.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have let down a lot of games lately, so I can't say that.
I don't like people touch my games.
Yeah.
My games are mine and mine alone. Alright, so I want to thank you guys for listening to us for the last 15 or so minutes. Sorry if we jumped around a little bit. We're just really excited about what Microsoft has to give. So if you have any comments about the press conference, feel free to use the comment section below. That's why it's there. Other than that, a like would be appreciated. Maybe even subscribe if you like what we had to say or want to see more of our E3 videos coverage. Not going to be showing anything from it, like video-wise or anything, because that would be a major impending copyright issue. It's always fun to mess with Microsoft when it comes to legal issues. So, do you have any...
You say Microsoft bad, you should see Sony.
Oh, okay. So this has been Veritas and
Cat Attack.
from Filler Killers, everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, everyone.